There's only one way to have a really good night's sleep on a boat, and that's to be sure your anchor is very secure. We're about to have a very good night's sleep because we just got a new anchor. Welcome back to the Rudder. Welcome aboard, Antoinette. We're on a mooring buoy because I'm about to take the anchor off and install this new anchor. I won't unwrap it yet. If you've been on Facebook and seen some of my comments, you'll probably know what I got, but we'll save that for later. Also note, if you're doing any of this whilst out at sea, please, put a rope on your anchor so it doesn't go overboard. Before we do that, let's have a look at the current anchor we've got, what I like about it, and why we're replacing it. One of the things I do like with the current anchor is just how snug it sits into the bowsprit. We've got a fairly long bowsprit there, which is actually really crucial in the fitting of the new anchor. One of the things I don't like is, I don't know if you can see it, is that the shaft is bent. Probably lead to a failure sometime in the future. And the last thing I wanted to do is just replace the sand anchor. So this style of anchor, a sand or plough anchor, it's got the two fins. They're very big, they're quite sharp and heavy, so they'll dig into the sand or the silt or the mud. But if you get some strong weather, as if you've seen the channel, we've had that a couple of times. As we have a lot of windage on Antoinette, as in the boat flings around quite a bit, and as we swing side to side, if it swings with enough force, we can lift one of those fins out and then the anchor will start tripping along the bottom. Something else I'll also be replacing is this swivel. This has been quite good. It's stainless steel. It's still in really good condition. You can see this D shackle is not in good condition, so that's well worth getting rid of and repairing. I quite like this. I have read a few things around the center. There's a center pin in there. It can, under really big stress, it can shear. So that is something that I wanted to, that's being replaced as well, and I'll show you what we've got there. Everything else is staying the same. So that's, we've stayed on anchor quite a lot. We haven't had too many troubles, but I just want to reinforce and really upgrade the anchor. So yeah, we're going to see what we've got next. So the guys from All Marine Spares, AMS at Burleigh, actually came out to the house with a whole set of anchors, and I saw them at the Sanctuary Cove International Boat Show, started talking to them about Rocna, sort of a premium anchor brand. I had a look at some of the other anchor suppliers around the place, but really was going on Facebook and talking to a few people. Every single person in the Merry Fisher community pretty much was going on Rocnas. But the really interesting thing is some people had the Mark 1, some people had the Vulcan, some people had the Mark 2. So it's quite strange, and the bowsprit is not the same on all of your Merry Fishers. They do vary, so getting someone out to come out with a few anchors, check it out so you can really see what fits into your bowsprit. Otherwise you're up for another few $1,000s to modify the front of the boat. So we're very lucky, we've got everything intact, and we're going with the Rocna 10. I would have loved to have gone up to the 15, but it didn't accommodate. So going with the 10, and we'll see what we got going on there. So to release the anchor, it's a good job. Only need 2 tools for this one. So we just release the anchor a little bit. It's still all connected, so it's not going to drop overboard. Lift it up here. Just need to get access to this shackle. Undo the screw. If anyone needs a second-hand rear anchor, let me know. This one will be going cheap. And then just Allen key on the other side of that to release the chain. So anchor's free now. Don't want to lose anything, so I'll just do everything up again very quickly and get this old anchor out of the way. And I can show you that why one of the reasons we wanted to replace it. Ooh. being careful on the deck. You can see there just how bent this shaft is. And this is what I was saying about the fins. They're very solid, so they go into the mud, but as you pull side to side, there has been, in really strong winds, one of these fins has come out. So we're going to replace it with the Rocna, and I'll show you a little bit about that in a second. Here we go, in true YouTube style, let's do the unwrapping video. I actually haven't seen this yet. All right, now we've got everything out of the way. You can definitely see we've got the Rocna 10. We've got a brand new D-shackle on here with a tightening there and Loctite on there. We have a brand new swivel, an Italian made one, which only has a single point. I'm going to get this all connected up, so simply making sure not to go near any of the dropping into the ocean spaces. So a locking mechanism, you can just swivel those in. So we put one end through, swivel it round, lock it in. So that goes into our D-shackle. Put that together. That connects to our chain. There we go. Everything clicks together. Put some Loctite on the bolt and then screw it all up nice and tight. And that's as simple as it is. So there, now we're all connected. We'll get all this out of the way and see how this anchor fits. You can see we went with the galvanized version rather than the stainless steel. Really, it's a money thing. The stainless steel one costs about $1,500 more, and we'll do the same thing because you're going to drop it into sand and mud. And this is the main thing. You'll notice our bowsprit has a roller in it, which returns the anchor to the correct position, which apparently not everyone has. So if we put it, oh, now we're all connected, we can undo the rope. So there you can see it resting, and as we bring the anchor in, it sits very firmly, and I'll show you in a second, one of the main things on a Merry Fisher is you've got your hatch here. This part here, it does not hit. So this is really one of the main tests for a Merry Fisher, is closing the hatch and there's clearance. Not much clearance, but there's clearance. So that was the problem with the Vulcan, was far too high with that curve that Vulcan has, and it would have hit into here and went too far out and left the blades. But you can see it there, absolutely no movement at all. Got your safety chain on, and just from the sea, let's have a look how good that looks. Sits, doesn't quite sit directly onto the bowsprit, but is held very firmly. So that was really one of the key aspects of choosing this anchor. Pretty happy with that, and happy with the look of it too. So the only thing now is to we'll get off this mooring one day. We're going to stay here for the night, and we'll test out this anchor somewhere on the way home. One thing also is, it was just amazing. I put the word out on Facebook and a few other channels, you know, I was thinking about an anchor. A lot of people came back with Rocna as the way to go, and some people fitted the Vulcan, someone had this one, a lot of people had this one. So it was great to see that community come together and provide each other advice. It's a nice thing to have. And it was global. We had people from across the world giving us some tips and tricks. All right, well, the next day we've just dropped anchor in some nice clean water so you can get a good idea of what's happening. We're actually floating around a bit. We've got wind against tide, which is always a bit of a strange way to be. But I'm going to jump in the water You'll note I'm wearing a jumper because I'm a weak Gold Coaster, and yeah, we don't do winter very well, but I'm going to jump in the water, try and film how the Rocna's set. It's quite strange, we're floating almost on top of it at the second, but we're in about a metre of water. It looks really good down there. We actually anchored last night right up near Russell Island, and it set really well all night. We just swung on the tide, and one thing we did note when we pulled it up, there was a lot of mud on it, so it really does bury in to keep you nice and firm. All right, let's get this going. I'm going to jump in the water with the GoPro and try and show you what this Rocna's doing. All right, so there's only one last thing to do. I'm going to jump in there. I've got the anchors just over there, if you can see it. I'm going to jump in, freeze my ass off, and all for a YouTube video. All right, let's go. Hopefully the current's not too strong. All right, away we go. Looks pretty well set, and you can see that fin's really dug in. That roll bar keeps it the right way up. Antoinette all holding steady, albeit at a bit of a weird angle. Hope you enjoyed that quick video of changing over our anchor to the Rocna 10 on our Merryfisher 895. The water's not too bad, 23 degrees, but if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on the Rudder.